in your textbook, in your Junquera, Histology and Atlas. Okay, so let's start with the muscle and muscle tissue, rather. So our learning objectives would be the following. Of course, to differentiate the three muscle types histologically in terms of function and their appearance, no? Especially if you are to describe it under the microscope. Next would be to distinguish unique features in each muscle type. So the unique histological features, and to give examples for each muscle type, especially that you'll be encountering later on specific organ systems. No? And of course, to know the anatomic structures in the organization of each muscle fibril, possibly be dissecting each muscle fiber to compose each muscle fibril, and to determine the important structures in the contraction of each muscle type. So let's start with the muscle tissue. And of course, your basic function of your muscle would be to contract. And of course, when a muscle contracts, it produces movement. But before any contraction to occur or to happen, it needs to have an electrical impulse coming from the central nervous system, going towards the peripheral nervous system, before it reaches the innervated muscle tissue. So, may dadaloy mo ng electrical impulse from the brain, so in order to produce movement. So, if a person would want to move my right hand, it's what we call as your voluntary contractions. So, involuntary contractions are contractions or that produces movement at your own will. So, kung gusto ko itaas ang aking right arm, your body will follow. But there are also those that are involuntary contractions, which produces involuntary movement. So, these types of contractions are those that that move at our own will. So, example, those that are muscle tissues located at your heart. You cannot, at your own will, stop your heart from contraction because it is not compatible with life. It can cause death. But of course, these types of contraction involuntary, it will regulate certain bodily functions. For example, if you increase your heart rate, due to exercise, it will increase your heart rate, increase your blood flow towards your skeletal muscle tissue in order to transport oxygenated blood, such as that. So the embryonic origin of your muscle tissue is your mesoderm. So starts with the letter M, muscle. Mesoderm also starts with the letter M. So that's your clue of your embryonic origin of your muscle tissue. So we have three types. First is your skeletal. Second is your cardiac muscle. Pointer. And your cardiac muscle. And lastly is your smooth muscle. So those skeletal muscle type, if you look at it histologically under a microscope, it has cross striations. In layman's term, cross striations are what we call as your stripes. Kapag there is what we call as stripes, that's your clue that it is skeletal muscle. Aside from skeletal muscle, cross striations are also present in your cardiac muscle. Those with cross striations, such as in your skeletal and your cardiac muscle, it's expected that it will produce quick and forceful voluntary contractions. For example, your skeletal muscles, your biceps, you want to push something. It is one example of your skeletal muscle. Because of the striations, appearance of striations, it's expected that your muscle contraction would be forceful and fast. Next, cardiac muscle is also cross striations in order to pump your blood in all over your body. So it has to be quick and forceful contraction in order to transport your blood, no, especially up to your low extremity and going back to your heart. Kasi kapag mahina ang cardiac muscle, for example, in patients with heart failure, those with patients with heart failure symptoms. So, sabihin with those heart failure symptoms, yung mga patients that are with uncontrolled hypertension, ayan, tapos biglang hindi nagtitake na maintenance medications, tapos hindi pa nagda-diet modification, lifestyle modification, medyo pasaway, no, because of the your peripheral vascular resistance, the cardiac or the heart muscle is pushing too much effort in order to push your blood against a blockade somewhere in your arteries. So, nangyari niyan, it will increase effort, increase your blood pressure. No, however, it will come a time na mapapagod din. So, lahat naman tayo napapagod, pati yung puso din natin. Ayan. So, napapagod din ang ating puso. So, later on, it will cause heart failure. Yan. So, it's very important to screen, especially if you have your strong family history of hypertension, especially of diabetes mellitus. Kasi, both hypertension and diabetes mellitus are like twins. Madalas kambal yan. Sometimes when a patient is diagnosed with hypertension, most of the time, the patient is also diabetic. So, kapag may strong family history ka, so sabihin is all in your genes, no, it will come to a time, sometime in your life, that you will be diagnosed. So, very important yung screening. Ayan. So, yan. So, that's a clinical correlate for your cardiac muscle. What unique feature with your cardiac muscle would be your presence of your intercalated discs. Later, I will show you histological pictures of your different muscle tissue. But so compared with your skeletal, your cardiac muscle is, of course, involuntary, vigorous, and rhythmic. So what do we mean by involuntary? It's not on your own volition. It is something that is not at your own will. No? Kahit sabihin mo, tumigil ka puso, hindi mangyayari yun. Because of the cardiac muscle, your heart has its own pacemaker. It's like it's having an own brain system that conducts electrical impulse towards your whole cardiac tissue. Yeah, that is also vigorous. It is strong, and lastly, it is rhythmic. When I talk about it is rhythmic, the beats are in rhythm. Example, your heart beats every 1 second. Yeah. So kapag hindi siya in rhythm, there's something wrong. That's what we call as your arrhythmia. So later on in your clinical sciences, you will be able to encounter such terms, no? If you have a patient has arrhythmia, so meaning the patient has irregular heart rhythm, and that is abnormal because patients with arrhythmia has strong propensity of having stroke. Kaya mapapansin nyo, no, kapag yung mga pasyente meron silang diagnosed with arrhythmia, no, most of the time they are given as blood thinners. Example, aspirin, yan, clopidogrel, no, aspirin is the most common siya. Antiplatelet. So it will cause bleeding, no, but it will dissolve the blood because these patients have strong propensity of having stroke. Pwede kasi yung clot na ma-form, it goes to the brain. So it's important that your cardiac muscle has normal rhythm. And lastly, your smooth muscles are those muscle cells that are fusiform in shape and it has lack striations. Kaya tinawag ko siyang smooth. Makinis, walang striations. That's your clue. And it also has slow involuntary contractions. So example, your smooth muscle tissues that is located in your gastrointestinal tract. You cannot control how the movement of the propulsion of the movement of the food towards your gastrointestinal tract from the oral area or towards your anal area, from mouth to puwet. So you have no volition, you have no control on how these muscles move. Kasi imagine nyo, gusto ko di matae. Control ko, hindi siya. No, because the peristaltic or the contraction of your smooth muscle is involuntary. You can only control your, for example, your defecation or yung pagtae mo, no? But the movement of the food cannot be controlled from the oral to the anal route. So, ito yung sinasabi natin with regards to your different tissue types. Okay, forward. Wala. Okay, so first we start with your skeletal muscle tissue. So, as you can see, no, your skeletal muscle has striations. Also, your cardiac muscle has striations. Next, you also have your nuclei. In the skeletal muscle, the nucleus of your skeletal muscle, if you can see it under the microscope, it is pushed to the periphery. It is because of its development, no, or especially of their satellite cells, that pushes your nucleus of your skeletal muscle towards the periphery. So mapansin nyo, aside there are cylindrical shaped muscles, no, you can see that your muscle tissue, skeletal muscle has striations or stripes, so others are alternating white and dark coloration, and also you can see that your nucleus are pushed to the periphery. So this is your nucleus, this is one muscle fiber, this is another muscle fiber, this is another muscle fiber, and this is muscle fiber. So these ones are alternating light and dark colors, or what they call your striations. Ito, Boccaccian stripes. No? As compared with your cardiac muscle, no? If you are to compare skeletal muscle versus your cardiac muscle is branching. So it will branch, no? From this one, it will branch, and from this one, it will give off branches of muscle fiber. So it also has striations, no? But what is very unique with your cardiac muscle is your intercalated discs. So these intercalated discs, it hastens your conduction of electrical impulse from one muscle tissue towards your another muscle tissue in order to provide a rhythmic contraction of your cardiac muscle. Ayan. Kapag smooth muscle naman, it has no striations, so it is smooth. Kaya wala siyang striation, it is smooth. And your muscle cells are spindle-shaped. It tapers it towards in both ends. It is spindle-shaped, and also you can also see here are your smooth muscle nucleus. So this is nucleus, and this is nucleus of the smooth muscle. Madali lang naman yan, no? If you are to look under the specimen, histological specimen, no, cardiac muscle, kapag nasa cardiovascular system na kayo, no, if you see a cardiac muscle, no, if you see a muscle in a heart, that is automatically your cardiac muscle. Wala ka na makikitang ibang tissue doon. So if you are going towards your visceral organs or internal organs such as your intestine, intestine, in your liver, in your gallbladder, no? If you see a tissue that is near the wall of a hollow organ, so sabihin ng hollow organ, meron siyang lumen or butas sa gitna, no? Most likely, that is your smooth muscle tissue. Because this smooth muscle tissue, it produces involuntary, slow, and weak muscle contractions. Kaya usually these are found in your visceral organs. Kapag skeletal muscles naman, you can see this obviously in your muscles. that produces strong, voluntary, and quick contractions and movements, such as your biceps, for example. Ayan. So this is your skeletal muscle. What is unique with this skeletal muscle as well is that it provides, it attaches to your bone in order to produce movement. So mapansin nyo, your skeletal muscle structures or tissues, no, it attaches to your bone in order to produce movement, because you cannot produce movement with muscle alone. In the skeletal muscle, it has to be attached to a skeleton. The skeletal muscle has to be attached to a bone in order to produce a movement. Yeah, so this is a histological picture of a skeletal muscle. So it has striated, so alternating dark and light pattern, para siyang tiger stripes, no? And it has also cells that are cylindrical and multi-nucleated. This is your nucleus, this is your nucleus, this is your nucleus, and this is also another nucleus of your skeletal muscle. Yeah. So how do skeletal muscles form? So as you can see, in the development of your skeletal muscle, no, there are cells that we call as your myoblasts. No, these particular myoblasts develop into myotubes and eventually becomes your micelle fiber. But they are myoblasts that does not fuse. Okay, these myoblasts that does not fuse are what we call as your satellite cells. No, it proliferate and produces new muscle fibers following a muscle injury. So, for example, in a patient with a motor vehicular accident, no, we know naman your cells and your tissues is capable of forming again, regenerating, capable of cell division, no, through the different phases, di ba? Of your cell division, your prophase, metaphase, di ba? Anaphase, telophase. And that cell division, no, in order to function as a body repair in case of injury. So for example, nagkaroon ka ng patient na nagkaroon ng motor vehicular accident, sumemplang, no? Tapos nagkaroon ng injury dun sa may kanyang muscle. So what will happen, we have your muscle cells that tends to fuse with one another. So there are muscle cells that fuses to one another. Kaya mapansin nyo, your skeletal muscle is multi-nucleated. So because it proliferates, no, and it fuses to one another to produce a long cylindrical muscle fiber. However, there are myoblasts that does not fuse. So what will happen, these satellite cells, or there are myoblasts that does not fuse, called the satellite cells, no, it will proliferate or provide a cell division process in order to give rise to new muscle fibers. Ayan. So yung mga satellite cell, ay gusto ko mag-repair, gusto ko madagdagan yung ating ating muscle fiber. So magpo-produce ako ng another muscle fiber and muscle fiber. And yung mga na-produce na muscle fiber, it will eventually fuse to produce a cylindrical shape long muscle fiber. No? Yan. So this is how your skeletal muscle tissue develop and repair in injury. However, the good thing, it is not cannot be appreciated or differentiated under the microscope, because kapag nag-staining process na kasi yan under the microscope, your satellite cells will be eventually destroyed. Nasisira kaya hindi siya nakikita. So, in the preparation process under the microscope, ang nakikita would be this particular muscle fiber. Ayan. So, in a skeletal muscle, please take note, no? For example, in your for example, in your biceps muscle tissue, no, there there are what we call as different structures that is organized in a particular skeletal muscle. So, for example, this is your biceps, no? If you are to dissect, the smallest unit would be what we call as your muscle fiber. Itong maliliit na to, no? This muscle fiber, when organized into one partial lumpia, no? In one covering, it will become a muscle fascicle. When these muscle fascicles are organized such that there is a junction in between each muscle fascicle, it becomes your whole skeletal muscle. So, if you are to dissect, no, microscopically each skeletal muscle, each muscle fiber, no, there is what we call as your tissue covering by layer in a skeletal muscle. Ito sa pinakamalit muna, no? For each muscle fiber, there is what we call as your endomycelium. Okay, this endomycelium is the one that covers or surrounds each of the muscle fiber. However, if this group of muscle fibers together, no, if it becomes group, no, it will eventually be covered by a layer. And this particular structure is what we call as your fascicle. So parang ano yan, a group of muscle fiber is called a fascicle, and a group of fascicles is called your skeletal muscle. So pwedeng tanungin yan sa examination. Yon. And this particular muscle fascicle is covered by your perimycelium. At tinawag siyang perimycelium, no? Para siya peri, no? Ito yung clue nyo. Kapag endo, it is located inside the innermost. Kapag peri, no, it covers the periphery of one particular structure. So your perimycelium, and lastly, no, when this particular fascicle is grouped together, it becomes your skeletal muscle. And this particular skeletal muscle is also covered by a structure called your epimycelium that is continuous with your fascia and your tendon. Okay? So, yun. So, this is your muscle. This is your structure. No? This is your tendon. This is your skeletal muscle tissue. Diba kapag tendon, this is the attachment between a muscle to a bone. If you look at it at the gross anatomy lab, no, for each muscle, it's attached to a bone. No? And this point of attachment is what we call as your tendon. Muscle to bone. Yeah, this is your muscle, skeletal muscle tissue. This is your tendon. Okay? Now, for each muscle fiber, if you look at it microscopically, each muscle fiber is, you can appreciate this particular structure. So this is what we call as your sarcolemma. I think it was discussed in your physio class, students, no? The process of muscle contraction. So they have your myosin and tropomyosin, no? Yung tinatawag na power stroke. So kapag merong calcium presence, it will cause a power stroke. No? With the release of ATP, becomes your ADP. Your adenosine triphosphate becomes your ADP when there is a muscle contraction. But there's a requirement, you need to have your calcium. Kaya di ba kung mapapansin mo kapag isang patient is mababa ang calcium, no? Aside from it needs in your bone deposition, no, your calcium is also a requirement in your as your muscle contraction. So we have your alternating dark and light bands. So this is your I band, your light band, your A band sarcomere. This is your dark band, we also have your Z disc, your H zones. So what will happen in your A band? This is your constant. Kaya yung A band constant, it does not shorten during muscle contractions. No? So what will happen during muscle contraction due to power stroke? Your H zone that is located in the needle, no, it will become shortened. So your light band shortens as well during a power stroke, during a muscle contraction. So that particular process is further elaborated in your physiology. Okay, teka, wala ata ang aking. Ayan. Okay, ayan. So examples of your skeletal muscle involves your biceps brachii, brachialis anticus, triceps brachii, anconeus, protenor teres, flexor carpi radialis, and many more. No? Kapag cardiac muscle, let us elaborate more in your cardiac muscle. So, if your skeletal muscle is cylindrical in shape, in appearance under the microscope, yung cardiac muscle, you can appreciate branching patterns. Yan. So it also has striations, no? And developmentally, as compared to cardiac muscle, the cardiac muscles within one fiber often branch and join cells with cells in adjacent fibers. So you can see a branching pattern, and it has a intercalated discs in between. Note it hastens the electrical impulse in order to produce a rhythmic contraction. Kasi remember, your heart has to move as a whole. So in order to hasten the contraction of your electric impulse to produce a rhythmic contraction of your cardiac muscle, it has this very unique feature as your intercalated disc. So pag nakita nyo to na sa muscle, pathognomonic to. Sa pathognomonic, that's automatic, that is your cardiac muscle. Pag walang intercalated disc, and then you only see striations, and that is cylindrical in shape, no branching, that is your skeletal muscle. Pero kapag smooth muscle, no, basta smooth, walang striations. Ganun siya kadali. And your glue. Ayan. So, unique features, your intercalated disc. And what is unique with intercalated cells? Intercalated. Your cardiac muscle cells, it has no satellite cells. So, lacking muscle satellite, cardiac muscle has little potential to regenerate after injury. So, remember, in your satellite cells, those are special myoblasts that give rise to another skeletal muscle or another muscle fiber, muscle cell, eventually. No? But here in the cardiac muscle, it has no satellite cells. So, what is the implication of having no satellite cell? It has no capability or potential to regenerate after injury. Example clinical correlate nito, no? Yung mga patients that is diagnosed with myocardial infarction, yung natawag natin heart attack, ang inatake sa puso, no? Because if a block in either the left or right coronary artery or its tributaries, no, what happened is because of certain blockade, there's no perfusion of blood towards the cardiac muscle tissue. So what will happen? The cardiac muscle tissue will eventually undergo necrosis or eventually die. And it has very slow potential to regenerate after this particular insult or injury. So patients that has myocardial infarction has higher risk for dying as compared those na nagkaroon ng injury dun sa kanyang skeletal muscle, mas makakapag-recover pa yon because of the presence of your satellite cells. In cardiac muscles, dahil wala, it has low recovery rate. So, yun. So, kawawa din yung mga patients na na-diagnosed with myocardial infarctions, they need to be admitted at the ICU, because a dead cardiac muscle tissue can induce death to the patient kasi hindi siya magkocontract. namamatay siya. Okay? So lastly is your smooth muscle. So located ang smooth muscles nyo in your visceral organs. So may internal organs such as your liver, gallbladder, gastrointestinal tract. Yan. O, pati yung smooth muscles that is located in your blood vessels. Yan. So you can appreciate smooth muscles there. So since it has no striations, the function is contraction, but it is slower but steady contractions. And fibers of smooth muscles are elongated, tapering, and unstriated, and all cells are linked with gap junctions. So they are each cell communicates with one another, through gap junctions. Yan. Next would be the myosin filament have a less irregular arrangement among the thin filaments and fewer cross-bridge than in striated smooth muscle actin filaments that are not associated with troponin and tropomyosin, using instead calmodulin and calcium-sensitive myosin light chain kinase to produce your contraction. So if you see this particular, because it has a fewer cross-bridge, it has what we call as your calmodulin and calcium-sensitive myosin light chain kinase in order to produce contraction. Kaya mapapansin nyo, mas lower and less, mas weaker ang contraction ng those with smooth muscle. And after injury, your smooth muscle is undergoing mitosis in order to replace your damaged tissue for the blood vessels, and the pericytes participate in your repair. Charge ko lang. Ayan. Okay, so you have your smooth muscles. So this is a diagram that shows your thin filaments attached to the dense bodies located at the cell membrane and deep in the cytoplasm. So this is your dense body, This is your one smooth muscle, this is another smooth muscle, and this is your nucleus of your smooth muscle, and those are located at the periphery as your dense body. So what will happen, your dense body located at the cell membrane is located at the thin filaments. So through the participation of your thick and thin filaments at your dense bodies, it will produce your contractions. Yan. So to summarize, you can actually see this in your textbook, the comparison of your different tissue, muscles, particularly skeletal, cardiac, and your smooth muscle. So when you review, maganda na you go to your Junqueira book and read your tables, kasi it has high yield presentations on or summary on how would you compare one from the another. So in terms of fiber, your skeletal muscle is single multinucleated cells, whereas your cardiac muscle, it is branching, whereas your smooth muscle, it is fusiform shape. Sinabi natin. Yan, cell or fiber shape, cylindrical, and fusiform. Striations. Skeletal and cardiac muscle striations are present. Smooth muscle, dahil smooth makinis, wala siyang striation. Location of the nucleus. In the skeletal, it is located peripheral, whereas the cardiac and the smooth muscle are located centrally. And the T-tubules located is central at the triads at the A and I junctions, whereas in cardiac muscle, it has dyads at Z discs. In smooth muscles, it is absent. Sarcoplasmic reticulum, it is well developed in your skeletal muscle, whereas in your cardiac muscle, it is less well developed. And Wherein in the smooth muscles naman, there is an irregular, smooth endoplasmic reticulum without distinctive organization. Next, special structural features. So, in your skeletal muscle, you have your very well organized sarcomeres, whereas your cardiac muscle, the mere presence of your intercalated discs, no, is already a clue that it is a cardiac muscle. Kapag smooth muscle naman, it has gap junctions in between your smooth muscle cells. The contraction, your troponin C binds to calcium, moving the tropomyosin, exposing actin for myosin binding. In cardiac muscle, it is similar to the skeletal. In your smooth muscle, no, instead of this troponin C binding calcium, you have your MLCK triggered when calmodulin binds with calcium. Connective tissue, we have your endomysium, perimysium, and epimysium. No? Sa cardiac muscle, we have your endomysium, your subendocardial and subpericardial connective tissue layers. Whereas your smooth muscle, you have your endomysium and less organized connective tissue sheaths. Major locations, remember, okay, tandaan nyo to for your examination. In major locations, in your skeletal muscles, in your esophagus, no, esophagus, and your also your tongue, no, voluntary movement, and your eyes. In your esophagus, remember your esophagus is part of your what you call your gastrointestinal tract. So it is your esophagus is divided into three segments: the upper 1/3, the middle 1/3, and your lower 1/3. Okay, in your upper 1/3, it is purely skeletal muscle. And nakalagay dito your upper 1/3 or the upper part of your esophagus. No? The middle 1/3 naman of your esophagus is a mix of skeletal muscle and your smooth muscle. 50-50 sila. Whereas in the lower 1/3 of your esophagus, it is now purely smooth muscles, 100% smooth muscle. So, an implication niya, no, that is why when you eat, no, when it reaches your oropharynx toward your when it reaches your oral mucosa and towards your oropharynx, dito sa lalamunan, sometimes you can still vomit the food. You can choke or you can choke or put the food out of your mouth because of the voluntary contraction located in the upper part of your esophagus. But when it reaches the lower part, towards the esophageal junction, which is purely smooth muscles, no, it will not produce peristaltic movement that is already beyond your control. Yan. So, cardiac muscle, if you have your heart, the smooth muscle, you have your blood vessels. The key functions, voluntary movement, cardiac muscle, involuntary, pumping of blood, smooth muscle produces involuntary movements or contractions. Efferent innervation, it is motor. Cardiac muscle, it is autonomic. Smooth muscle, it is autonomic. When we talk about autonomic, when we encounter term na autonomic, it is what they call as, it produces involuntary contractions. So there are functions that be under control, autonomic coming from your central peripheral nervous system or your pacemaker. So, nakikita yun sa puso that produces automatic movements. O tinatawag siyang autonomic. Pag autonomic ang kanyang efferent innervation, it produces automatic na movements. When I talk about automatic, those are involuntary movements. Next, contractions is all or none. No? So, is all or none. Kapag smooth muscle naman, we have your partial, slow, often spontaneous wave-like, and rhythmic. Yan. Alam niyo naman yung all or none response, no? In your physio, you've encountered Teka, nawala. So, have you encountered terms like your all or none response in your physio? Ano ibig sabihin ng all or none response? Meron from the class, all or none response. Yung
lagi pong same lang yung response pero at its maximum na po pala.
Yes, tama, Miss Sofia, Maria Sofia. No, so it is all or none response. Once you reaches a particular threshold, no, di ba in action potential, it is an all or none response. When you reach a certain threshold, it will just produce the same movement. So, kapag di nyo na-reach yung threshold ng action potential, it will not produce any movement. Para ano lang yan, yung patients natin, no, itong level lang. Pag hindi na-reach yan, no, meron tayong groupmate, no, hindi naman nagpa-participate sa ano, para sa thesis writing, no. Syempre, kanya-kanyang toka yan. Isang groupmate nagaluto ng pansit kanto. Okay, tapos may submissions na kayo. After a week, meron na kayong submissions. No? Ang threshold mo, out of 10, 4. Pag hindi pa sumunod yung groupmate sa deadline, na-reach na yung 2. Hindi ka pa magagalit. No? The next day, finalo up mo yung groupmate. Mel, nasubmit mo na ba yung parts mo sa methodology? Hindi pa. Ayan, hindi nag-reach na. 3. After the next day, kinakontak mo, di sumasagot. Ikaw, mainis na. Pagdating mo sa level 4, no, it reached your threshold. So, mainis ka na. That's an example of your threshold in your action potential. That is your, what you call your all or none response. So, when it doesn't reach, it will not produce any movement. But if it reach a certain point, no, it will produce an all or none response. Ganyan. Ganyan ang muscles nyo. Okay? Let me share my screen. Okay? Nakikinig kayo sa physio. Galing. Magaling yung mga physio boys. Doon. Actually, one of the faculty, si Dr. Christian Tan, no, is a top-notcher in the physician licensure exam during his time. So, marami siyang ituturo sa inyo, mnemonics and tables to memorize or understand, no? Kasi it will be of great help in your review. Particularly, no, when you go into microbiology in second year. He made a summary table of all the organisms, microorganisms in a table. And one of our graduates studied microbiology for the physician listener examination, and pumasa siya, no. Isa sa kinoment niya, inaral niya lang yung table ni Dr. Christian Tan. And it was asked during the examination. So maganda yung practice yun when you review, you create your table, no, para at least you can summarize. Hindi nagbasa ka lang ganito, no. Maganda we have your summary tables with you. Kaya kung mapansin mo in Junquera, there are summary tables. Those are really good tables to summarize what you have learned. Kaya mixing lang naman yung Junquera, you can tolerate naman siya as compared to your textbooks. Kasi during board examination, I studied Junquera for histology TARP, and lo and behold, 30% of the questions are histology during the board exam during my time. So let me share my screen again. Current slide. Okay, so let's go back to your there's an error daw. Ayan, so let's go back to contractions all or none as well. Sa skeletal and cardiac, smooth muscle is partial. Sa response to increased load, no? So when you exercise, no, nagbubuhat kayo or weightlifter or nag-gym, yan, no, the response is hypertrophy. So if you encounter this particular term, no, hypertrophy, it just simply means that there is an increase in the cell or tissue size. Lumaki lang yung cell. No? Kapag hyperplasia, different sila ha. If you encounter this term hypertrophy, there's an enlargement of cell. Hyperplasia, there's an increased number of cell. Okay? Yan. So para at least alam nyo. Kapag hypertrophy, no, kapag gym, no, your muscle, your tissue cell or skeletal muscle would increase in size. Whereas in cardiac muscle, kapag nahihirapan, no, example, in patients with hypertension, there's a difficulty to pump your blood to all over the body because of increased peripheral vascular resistance. No, your heart muscle would begin to enlarge. Sometimes, no, those with uncontrolled hypertension, when you view their X-ray, ang laki ng puso. No, sabihin, your heart is putting too much effort against a larger resistance somewhere in your body. So, yun, kapag makita sa mga uncontrolled hypertension, they are diagnosed with a large heart or hypertrophy or cardiomegaly, may kita sa X-ray, no? It's because of uncontrolled hypertension. Your heart is eliciting too much effort. Now, so sumot cells naman is capable of doing hypertrophy and your hyperplasia. So it can go increase in cell size. It can also do increase in cell number. No, however, not all hyperplasia are good. No, example, when hyperplasia is too much, that is beyond the control of the body, it becomes cancerous. So, example, pwede not all naman hyperplasia is cancerous. Some are benign, some are malignant, na cancer, no. But in hyperplasia, which goes beyond the control of the body, it becomes such. Example, in males, no, normal naman na lumalaki ang prostate ng males, no. Normal lang between 20 to 25 grams. Okay, pag beyond that, no, it's something that is not normal. So what will happen is what we call as our benign prostatic hyperplasia, hindi hypertrophy, hyperplasia, BPH, malaking prostate. Yung nga lang, kapag lumalaki kasi yung prostate in males, no, it has significantly increased in size. It will obstruct the flow of urine somewhere in your urethra. Urethra is part of your the male or the female, no, is like a conduit for the urine. Doon dumadaan yung ihi. No, but in males, kapag lumaki ang prostate, it will cause blockade. So, di makaihi patient o hirap umihi. Hindi na maganda kapag hyperplasia. No, so papansin mo in the visceral organs, no, it can produce hyperplasia. No, sometimes that is either benign or malignant. Yan. So capacity of regeneration, your skeletal muscle is limited, though it is capable because of satellite cells. However, in cardiac muscle, it is very poor because it has no satellite cell. And lastly, your smooth muscle or visceral organ, smooth muscle, is good because aside from the satellite cells, it also involves mitotic activity of your muscle cell. Okay, so that ends my lecture for muscle. Okay, so mamaya break muna kahit mga 5 minutes. No, so we can go towards your nervous tissue. So it was a quick lang naman ang nervous tissue, short chapter in your book. No, I'll be just discussing core knowledge that you need to know as a first year medical student. Okay, so please be back at exactly 9:32 a.m. So CR break muna kayo. Okay. No? For groups 1 and 2, naka-assign, I'll be posting a link. So our laboratory session assigned to me for groups number 1 and 2 will start at around 10:15 na lang. 10:15 a.m. mamaya. I'll be posting in the Google Classroom. Sa Saturday with Dr. Jesmos, I think groups 3 and 4. He'll be posting a link, or I think Dr. Jesmos will be using this Google Meet. Also, no, for the practical examination, since you have not used the microscope, we'll be using the Skoola or the TV for your practical exam for the histo part. But for the gross, you'll be using the gross anatomy lab. But for the histo part, we'll be using the large TV. So I think you'll be divided into two, no? So parang may part 1 and part 2 siya. Part 1 would be histo, part 2 would be gross, ganun. Tapos exchange. Okay? Sige. Ayan, so okay, so for the nervous tissue, so at the end of the learning objective, to know, understand the parts of a neuron, which is the basic unit in your, or the cells in your nervous system, and to differentiate between your central and your peripheral nervous system components, and lastly, the different glial cells. Okay, yan. So your nervous tissue is a very complex system that is connected by your nerve cells. So there's nerve cells, no, or what we call as your neurons, and those supporting nerve cells are called your glial cells. Is part for your electrical conduction and support or nourishment. So kapag neurons, it is functions in your electrical conduction, kasi before you can move, you need to receive an electrical signal. Gumalaw ka, no? No, that's the time that it will produce contraction. But those in glial cells, no, are the ones that produces or support cells and protects your neurons or your nerve cells. So dalawang nerve cells, you have your neurons or your glial cells. No? In the general organization of the nervous system, your nervous system is generally divided into two. Yung isa, nasa gitna, or your central nervous system, yung isa naman is nasa gilid, or you call as your peripheral nervous system. Those that are located in the central nervous system is your brain and your spinal cord. Whereas your peripheral nervous system, no, are those nerves that is located at the periphery, away from the center. So these are cranial nerves, you have your spinal nerves, and your what you call as your peripheral nerves. So you have, in the cranial nerves, we have 12 cranial nerves, 12 pairs. Ayun na, yung kakalimutan, pwede tinatanong ko sa board exam. How many cranial nerves are there? How many pairs of cranial nerves are there? Ang cranial nerves niyan, so we have 12 pairs of cranial nerves. Isa sa left, isa sa right. Okay? Example, cranial nerve 1 is your cranial nerve 5 na lang is your trigeminal nerve, for example. So you have trigeminal nerve at the left and another trigeminal nerve at the right. So dalawa. So your cranial nerves comes in pairs, no? So we have 12 pairs of cranial nerves. So in total we have 24 cranial nerves. Okay? Your spinal nerves, madami din yan, no? Also have your peripheral nerves. Sinabi ko lang, no, for board exam purposes, yung lagi na tinatanong yan would be your cranial nerves number. So your peripheral nervous system, no, yun yung components nila, and the nervous tissue or cells, we have your neurons as the main cells, and those glial cells are the supporting cells that nourishes it or protects the neurons from damage, from infection. Yan. So the nervous system develops from 3 embryonic layers, the ectoderm, 3 early embryonic layers, particularly the ectoderm, beginning in the 3rd week of development. So kapag na si baby, no, fetus, at the 3rd week, there's already a development of your nervous system, particularly from the ectoderm. No? So in neurons, this is a hypothetical illustration of a neuron. Yan, this is your neuron. This is a hypothetical illustration of a neuron. No? So this is one neuron. Hindi lang itong nasa gitna, but also includes these cells at the periphery. So this is a neuron. So we have 3 parts. First is your cell body, or so called as, so pwede kasi tanong sa exam, ang ibig sabihin kong cell body, I use the term perikaryon or soma. So any of the 3 are they are just synonymous. So the cell body, perikaryon, or soma contains the nucleus and most of the cells, organelles, and serves as the synthetic or trophic center of the entire neuron. So this is the control center part of your neuron, called your cell body, pericardium, or soma, because it is where the nucleus and most of the organelles are located. Next naman is your dendrite. The numerous elongated process, no, that extends from the pericardium and specialized to receive stimuli from other neurons at unique sites called the synapses. So, ang function would be your dendrite is to receive your electrical signal from one neuron to another through the dendrite. So, mangyari niyan if there is another neuron here, no, it will send electrical signal or impulse to another neuron. So, which particular structure would receive we will directly receive? Of course, all this would receive, but which particular structure would first receive? It would be the dendrite. So it will receive the signal, no, dendrites muna, then it will be processed in your cell body, and it goes towards your axon. So to compare your dendrites and your axon, it is a single long process ending at synapses, specialized to generate, pag synapse though, it's a junction between one neuron to another neuron to produce, to transport a electrical signal. No? So this axon is a single long process ending at synapse, specialized to generate and conduct nerve impulse to other cells. So it will receive electrical signal, dendrite goes to the pericardium, soma, or the cell body. No, it will go, and then if it needs to be transferred to another neuron or its effector muscle to the muscle, it will go toward your axon. No, before it goes to another neuron. This particular structure is your axon. What is unique with your in your axon? No, it has what we call as your myelin sheath. No? And in between your myelin sheath is your nose of Ranvier. So, have you discussed in your physio class the difference between your for a while, but wala siya. What is the function of your myelin sheath? Na-discuss ba in physio? Was it discussed in physio about the function of your myelin sheath? Hindi pa. Okay. In your undergraduate class, have you encountered such terms? And what do you think would be its function? Tawag doon. It is to, ano yun?
Protection po and yung speed ng synapse.
Sa synapse, speeds yung synapse. Okay, thank you for that, Ms. Freilin. No? Medyo malapit na yung speed lang ng electrical conduction, yung function niya. So, what happened kasi here in your synapse? Teka, let me share my screen again. Slideshow. Share screen. At your browser. Yan lang PowerPoint i-share ko. Ayan. Ano, dito sa neuron, no? Itong neuron, particularly in the axon, it has what we call myelin sheath. No? Di ba parang ang kuryente, para dumalo, it needs to be a good conductor of electricity. No? So dito, mangyari niyan, there's a conduction of electricity. It goes towards your axon. However, these myelin sheaths are insulators. So they are not conductors of electricity. But what will happen, in between your myelin sheath, there's what we call as your nodes of Ranvier. So these are spaces in between your myelin sheath that is a conductor of electricity. So what will happen, dadaan dito, no? Yung nga lang, dahil sa pairs of myelin sheath, hindi siya magko-conduct. What will happen, the electrical impulse will jump to each nodes of Ranvier para mas mabilis yung electrical conduction. So, tatalon-talon dyan para mas mabilis yung electrical conduction. That term is what we call as your, ano tawag doon?
Saltatory conduction.
Okay, very good. Your saltatory conduction. Bakit saltatory? Hindi dahil asin. Okay, kasi diba salt is asin? Diba? Hindi. Saltatory is what we call as the movement of the frog from one location to another. Ang tawag doon saltation. Diba? Pagtatalo yung palaka. So, as sabi ng kokak, from one point to another, it will jump. Ang term doon, scientific term, is saltation. So, if it applies in the myelin sheath, in the nose of Ranvier, is what we call as your saltatory conduction. Tumatalon yung electrical signal. So, as a mechanism to speed up the conduction of electricity. Kasi bakit? Kapag walang myelin sheath yan, delayed ang response. Example, paano ba yung delayed yung response? Paano ba yung delayed yung response? Example, sinaksa ka. Diyan. O kaya, wag na lang. Morbid naman. Sinaksa ka na lang. Nagluluto ka na lang ng breakfast. So, prito ka ng itlog. No, tapos, natalsikan ka ng mantika. So, what happens, if there's a presence of myelin sheath, will automatically withdraw from a painful stimuli. Ay, sakit. Pero if wala kang saltatory conduction, wala kang myelin sheath, siguro 1 to 2 seconds, nagaano ka pa, delayed ang response. After 1 to 2 seconds, tsaka lang magsasabi ng aray. So what will ang ibig sabihin niyan, bakit kailangan natin umaray? Bakit kailangan natin masaktan? Parang hugot, kailangan natin masaktan. No? Kasi matututo tayo sa buhay. No? Isang function din yan to go away from a painful stimuli. Kasi imagine niyo na lang, nasaktan ka na nga, nandyan ka pa. Parang delayed ang response. And then nagkaroon ka ng more insult to your body, emotion-wise. Okay, just kidding. Kunyari lang, okay? In emotional aspect, that's a hypothetical example. But in reality, kapag humawa ka sa mainit na surface, like yung kumukulong mantika, if there's a delay, no, nagkaroon ka agad ng 3rd-degree burn before you put out your hands in a particular painful stimuli. Kaya kailangan natin masaktan so that we can immediately withdraw from a painful stimuli. So that is a very good adaptation. In biology, is a very good evolution. No, in humanity, and in religion, is a very good blessing. An architect na ginawa ni Lord is so perfect na ginawa niya yun para at least malayo tayo dun sa mga painful stimuli. Kasi if we stay there, no, it will create insult. No, paglabas mo ng kamay, 3rd-degree burn ka na. So bago ka magkaroon 3rd-degree burn, no, nilayo mo na before producing insults to your body. Yan. Ay, hindi ko kasi mag-layman. Kasi alam ko, first year pa kayo. I mean, Kasi I understand most of you are work, no, years before the enter medical school. So may marami na kayong nakalimutan. So ako, I'm willing to adjust para mas maintindihan niyo yung mga bagay-bagay. Okay? Teka. Let me just share my PowerPoint na lang. Siya mga full screen. Wala yun. Window. Ayan. So, yun. So, this is your neuron. So, this is a picture of your neuron. So, those that branch, no, going towards the cell body, pag marami, is what we call as dendrite. Pero pag mag-isa lang siya, axon. Okay? So, this is your cell body. No? This is your cell body or your pericardium or soma. These are your dendrites. So this one is a particular axon. So if you were to trace the direction of your electrical impulse coming from the brain, so from one neuron to another, so from one neuron, pumunta siya sa, kunyari, dendrites, cell body, axon, tapos next neuron, magre-receive dendrites, cell body, axon. So ganun siya. So hindi masyado appreciate dito yung myelin sheath, no? Because in preparations, usually nasisira na yung myelin sheath. Kaya hindi nakikita under the microscope ang presence ng myelin sheath. So, lastly, no, so we have your structural classes of your neurons. So, may natawag tayo bipolar, multipolar, pseudo-unipolar, and anaxonic. So, kapag multipolar neuron, no, so we have most neurons including all motor neurons and CNS interneurons are multipolar. Kapag bipolar neurons include sensory neuron of the retina, olfactory, mucosa, and inner ear. Kapag pseudo-unipolar naman, all other sensory neurons are unipolar or what we call pseudo-unipolar. So let us differentiate. Kapag anaxonic, walang true axon. So let us differentiate. So this is your multipolar, your unipolar neuron, your bipolar neuron. So this is your anaxonic neuron. So in your multipolar neuron, which is in most neurons that is present, ito yung, ano ba? Ito yung madalas na itsura ng neuron. So we have your dendrites towards your cell body, towards your axon. In unipolar neuron, what will happen? No, before you go towards the before an electric impulse is transferred to another cell, what will happen? There's a what we call as a dendrite, no? It will immediately transfer to your axon. So, it goes to your dendrite, axon, and then goes, tsaka lang siya dadaan sa gitna ng axon towards a single short process that is part of your cell body. Tsaka lang siya lalabas, goes towards the central process of the axon before transmitting the signal to another cell. Kapag bipolar neuron naman, so this is your dendrite, there's a branch that connects your dendrite to another cell body, no? Then it goes towards your cell body and before going to your axon. Ito raw siyang bipolar. Sa akala mo kasi this is axon, but in fact, this is dendrite. At tinawag siyang bipolar. Akala mo, there's a dendrite and there's another dendrite that's going towards your cell body. Kaya mukha siyang bipolar. Pag ano naman, anaxonic neurons, so we have different dendrites, but the electrical impulse is a dead end towards your pericardium because of no true axon. So dito siya na-stuck ang cell body. So it is not transferred to another, it's not transmitted to another. Okay, so you can read your textbook, you can see different appearance, no? You can see your neurons in your brain, your cerebrum, your cerebellum, the layers of the brain, and particularly in your spinal cord. Okay, and as a reading assignment, to read on the glial systems of the nervous system. We may ask it during your examination. And my reference is your Junquera Basic Histology Atlas 17th edition. So with that, do you have any questions that you would like to ask? Wala naman. All clear? All understandable in your own words? So pag pinag-explain ko kayo, kaya nyo? Okay. Kaya naman. Okay, so that's good. No? And for the laboratory part, groups 1 and 2, we'll start at 10:15 a.m. 10:15. So I'll be posting a link, a separate link, hindi ito, to the Google Classroom in Anatomy. So Dr. Jesmos yung other half. Okay, I think Dr. Jess will be using the walang mga post Dr. Jesmos, I think he'll be using this Google Meet link. Okay, so God bless in your examination week next week. So aral lang. Your manuals are available. No, you can use your manuals, especially in dissection. Mga kailangan nyo makitang structures, no? Tsaka yung lansang. Ay, maganda ang lansang notes. Yung ano ba? Nagko-comprehensive examination ako dati yun sa UE. Sa CRM kasi ako graduate. Tapos, para for compre tsaka final exam. So, final exam pa ako. Hindi ako na-exempted. Kasi nangyari, first 2 LEs ang hirap. Di ba maka-adjust eh. Paano mag-aral ng anatomy? Hindi ko maintindihan. Tapos upper and lower extremities pa. Tapos I already got the hang of it, no, in different organ systems. Doon ako bumabawi. Yung nga lang medyo nag-pull down yung first LE sa akin. Sabi, ay. So sabihin, it's normal to ano ba? Hindi naman to fail, no, to be frustrated in your performances. But as long as you learn, you get the style in studying anatomy. Ang ginawa ko kasi, no, hirap, di ko maintindihan. So what I did, the day before the lecture, kahit paano, I read. I bring Netter with my more. More kasi ginagamit ko eh. Maganda rin Snell. But I read more. Tapos, I read Netter for Gross, tapos Junquera for Atlas. Kahit a day before, as long as I have a rough idea of what will be discussed. So yun, mas nakakabawi na. Hindi ako ma-exempt. 84 point something. Kasi exemption is 86 eh. So almost 85 ako. Pero okay lang yun. So I get the hang of it. So yun. So, sharing ko lang din naman ako ganun katalino yung med school. So I'm just an average student na nangarap maging doktor. Parang kayo. Pero sabihin kayo, kaya nyo rin. No? So marami lang tayong pinagdadaanan pero kaya yan. Oo nga eh. Kinagapang ko lang. Pumasa din anatomy. So, kaya niyo rin. Okay. So, I have no more questions. I'll be taking a screenshot of your attendance. So, all students, can you turn your camera? Please. Smile. 1, 2, 3. One more. Smile. 1, 2, 3. Okay, everyone. Thank you. And God bless. See you sa laboratory portion. Groups 1 and 2.
Thank you, Doc.
Thank you po, Doc.